attorneys from Armstrong Teasdale. I'm going to read it out loud to you. You can read along with me. Let me minimize this on my screen. Because the SEC has conceded that Bitcoin is not a security, and because BFX Standard operates only in the Bitcoin spot market and does not participate in Bitcoin derivative transactions, BFX Standard is not currently required to register or directly subject to the promulgated rules of the CFTC or the SEC at this time. I'll read this one more time. Because the SEC has conceded that Bitcoin is not a security, and because BFX Standard operates only in Bitcoin spot market and does not participate in Bitcoin derivative transactions, BFX Standard is not currently required to register with or directly subject to the promulgated rules of the CFTC or the SEC at this time. There is no registration requirements for our algorithm, not for the CFTC or the SEC. Now, they go on in their analysis to say that there are bills filed by Congress, right, that we may be subject to if those bills pass. Full transparency is on the screen, right? So we're not cookie cutting it, and I'm not cookie cutting this for you. I'm giving you the entire picture of what the legal landscape looks like in regards to the algorithm that we have. We only have one algorithm, all right? We only have one piece of technology, one software. This is important because I want to make sure that we always dispel misinformation, all right? Misinformation, because if you don't put out good information, people will fill it with bad information and people will think that information is the truth. Well, here is the truth from our attorneys we specifically hired for this specific issue. With that being said, I want to turn it over to Jay Joshua, who is our who is our algorithmic programmer that works specifically with our algorithm, so he can give you updates in regards to the algorithm. Josh.
Thank you very much, Courtney. I appreciate the introduction, and I was really, really excited to see this update from Armstrong Teasdale. I'm really excited that our members, especially those stateside, are going to have an opportunity to participate in the algorithm. I do want to mention to everyone that the algorithm is an additional level of service. I think it's really important to point that out. So we have our core membership, which allows you access to virtually everything we offer here at BFX. The crypto algorithm is an additional product level, and I think that's important to mention here. I want to go through and I want to do just a brief overview of what's possible with this crypto algorithm. And once I have done that, then I will share with you some of the crazy things that have been happening in the crypto world and how we here at BFX Standard are responding. And then I'm going to have an opportunity to introduce a very, very special guest. So I hope everyone will pay close attention here, because the next 10 minutes could be the most important 10 minutes in the cryptoverse, at least as far as I'm concerned. Now, we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't show our disclosure here. I like to share with everyone when I do my live streams, which I do, by the way, on Sunday and Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that I don't just share the disclosures because our attorneys told me to. I share our disclosures because I am all about empowering as many people as I can to become educated, to take charge of their financial future. And so it's important for all of you to understand that past performance is not a guarantee of future results, and to understand that trading in crypto or with other assets can be risky, but it can also be life-changing, and both of those realities can be true in the same day in our space. So again, it's all about getting yourself educated so that you can be empowered to take charge of your financial future. Now, our algorithm is truly unique. It is a one-of-a-kind algorithm. It is something that you are not going to find anywhere else on the planet. What I can tell you is that it first started trading in April of 2018. And if you check the records, Bitcoin was trading at around $6,973. So if you had been, somehow privy to the group that was about to launch this algorithm, and you were like, hey, I'm gonna enter into a race, and you were gonna go out and buy a Bitcoin to do a long-term buy and hold, and you had purchased that Bitcoin April 1st as the same date that the algo started trading, for around $7,000, all the way through to today's date where the price was around $17,000 just before I jumped on this live stream with everyone, you would have done very well. And in fact, if you did do that, then you should pat yourself on the back right now. You'd be up 146%. And you probably outpaced a couple of other big, you probably outpaced the housing market. You might have even outpaced the Dow. I don't know. I didn't check those, but you did well, right? And buy and hold can be a great strategy. We talk about that in our calls. We talk about how to do that more safely. Not your keys, not your crypto. We go through everything inside of our recorded in our live stream training because we want to empower, again, as many people as possible. There is another way. The algo, the goal was to do more. And so had you started trading the algo April 1st, 2018 with around 10,000 of USDT or Tether or BUSD all the way through to the end of September, you would be up around 357,000 USDT. So, just some quick math here. That's about a 3,478% growth. And I think we can all agree that that is better than a long-term buy and hold. It certainly was in this time frame. Different time frames will yield different results, but for those who want to be more active in crypto and don't just want to wait things out, the algo is fantastic. Every day is something new and exciting for you to kind of get in and take a look at. I took the liberty of putting some numbers up here on screen because I do have an update. There has been an event in crypto, and we want to address it. In 2018, just approximately, the algo was up around 71%. 2019 was up around 107%. 2020 up around 146%. And in 2021, up about 133, 140% for the year. And then this year to date, as you can see, this past November, there was a Black Swan event. It was very difficult, but don't despair. We have a great strategy. The algorithm naturally is waiting for an opportunity to strike. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. And so we are temporarily in and out of the market for the protection of accounts. But we're gonna show you something really exciting here in just a moment about that. But before we go too far on it, what I want to do is I want to actually pop up a live version of the algorithm running in real time. And so for those of you that are part of the BFX team, this can kind of be an update or a checkup from the neck up. For the guests that we have out there who are taking a look at this live stream, just know that we have more information we are happy to share with you, but we just want to keep it as short as possible here tonight on this global update call. But our algo trades in real time. And effectively what the algorithm is designed to do is to help you maximize your position. And we have a special guest who can talk a little bit more about that. And on the calls where we have an opportunity to kind of go a little bit deeper, I'll actually have an opportunity to share with you exactly what it can do. But I want to share with everyone something that happened in the marketplace and how we are responding to it here at BFX Standard, because we have an opportunity to talk about this on all of our calls. We have live streams on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time that I do. We have live streams on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that I do. And so we have an opportunity to talk about that for our guests out here today. And for those that might not have been able to pick up any of the live streams, just to kind of get you back up to date, on November 8th, there was what is known as a Black Swan event. And for those of you who do not know what a Black Swan event is, it's when basically everything just kind of crashes because something really bad happened, or something happened that was perceived by the market to be really bad. And so this was on November December 8th. And in short, I'm not going to go too deep in it here tonight, but in short, many pundits will tell you that what happened was not an accident. It was actually a criminal event where the world's third largest exchange became insolvent because they were doing some things that they were not supposed to do. And this is one of the risks that we all face in crypto. This is one of the risks that we all face globally. It's more apparent in crypto oftentimes because we have enough control to, purchase an asset and hold an asset or trade an asset, whereas other parts of our life we may not even be as aware of it. But these are the things that happen. But there is good news, and I was told yesterday, I was given a memo yesterday that I should do something great for tonight's call. So for those of you who requested that of me, I would like you all to know that I have single-handedly helped the Dow exit a bear market. That is a joke, everyone. Today, the Fed did come out and basically state that although it is going to be important to look at raising interest rates as needed to fight off, inflation. If we do it too fast, we're going to trigger a recession. And so there is this balance that they have to find a way to strike. And today they announced, which is very rare for them to go into the level of detail that they shared today. And they basically told the world, hey, we understand. We have to fight inflation, but we don't want to trigger a recession. They were very clear in their points, and the market responded by jumping up 700 points, which is fantastic. That was just enough, at least in that moment of time, to temporarily, or who knows, maybe permanently exit this particular bear market cycle. So some really good things are on the horizon that I think will just naturally help us, look back on the Black Swan event as really just a reset. But there are additional risks on the horizon. We talk about those on our next live stream. For today, what I'd like to share with all of you before we introduce our very important guest, what I'd like to introduce to all of you is how we are responding to empower all of you to have even more control. Remember, we want to empower you through education, but we also want to empower you through control. We want to give you as much control as possible. And so we went live this past week with SnapSmart. We'll have an update on this here in the coming week. This is the first time we're talking about it publicly. It does a couple of things that we're really excited about. It gives real-time Black Swan protection. So what that means is that when the market is basically falling at a rapid rate because there has been some new Black Swan event. And let's face it, this one it's kind of leveling out. I think we're going to get through this one okay, but there are some risks on the horizon with Genesis and other issues. So when it's really not an if, but it's when there's another Black Swan event, we want to empower all of you to have the controls to respond rapidly. And you can't probably respond while you're sleeping. So we have real-time Black Swan protection inside of SnapSmart that is now running live. Next up, that will be announced a date very, very shortly, will be a one-click exit system. Anything can happen in life. You may want to go on vacation and you just don't want to keep an eye on the markets, and you may want to just disconnect for a couple of days, or for whatever reason, maybe you don't like what you see in the market. Whatever the case is, we want to make it super easy for you to just click a button, turn your algo off. Again, we want to give you all of the controls possible. We'll have an additional announcement on there. You can already turn your algo off, by the way, but we want to make it a real simple push button situation, which is what we're going to do for you. The other thing that we have been able to go live with is 40% tighter exits, and we already put that in place this last week. Again, just to help all of our members have additional peace of mind that Black Swan events and difficult days in crypto, difficult weeks in crypto, difficult months, difficult years are all going to happen in crypto. The way that we win is by sticking to proven strategies that mathematically on the percentage work. And that is really, really important. And speaking of that, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce a very special guest who is a world-renowned algo expert. And we asked him as a private consultant to evaluate the BFX Standard crypto algorithm and give us his feedback as to what we had in place, what his thoughts were, and I won't speak for him. This would be a great time for him to unmute, and love to give him an opportunity to kind of share. Welcome to the call, sir.
Sure, thank you, Joshua. Happy to be here. Yeah, so I was brought in to evaluate the algorithm and really take a look at it to see how it's performing, what it's doing, etc., from a third-party point of view. And what I found is it's a fairly standard algorithm. There's no tricks or anything behind the scenes. It is mathematically based. With that in mind, the market in crypto, specifically Bitcoin, has been down this year by quite a bit, down by 63%. Based on my back testing of the algorithm, which is essentially taking the code and running it over previous pricing data over the last year. So year to date, the algorithm is up in profit 68%. And so what that means is it's not 68% increase from the market, it's a 68% total profit. So if you invested 100,000 at the start of the year and use the algorithm, even with crypto falling, you would be up 68% so far this year. And when you compare that to the market being down 63%, that's a rough, 129%. You've beat the market. That's pretty good, especially when it comes to algorithmic trading and dealing with algorithms as much as I do. That's definitely the top 10% of algorithms by far. One thing, this is profitable trading. This isn't, kind of calling shots, etc. It's all mathematically based, and it really shows. So the algorithm takes advantage, I'd say, of about 72% of the market. So it's looking at opportunities, when to buy and when to sell. And about 72% of the time, it reads them very well in terms of whether the market's going to go up or down, and buying and selling accordingly. Nothing's perfect, especially when it's mathematically based. It never sells at the exact top and never buys at the exact bottom, but it doesn't need to. You can buy kind of in the middle on the upswing and sell on the downswing and still do pretty well. In my findings during the back testing, 68%. That's great. Honestly, it's very good. And so hopefully that gives you some insight. I'm going to pass it back.
Thank you for being out here. Just want to confirm one thing. So if someone in your back testing, if someone in January 1st of this year, 2022, if they had invested 100,000 just in Bitcoin and held it through to today's date, they would be down approximately 60%. So they would be worth about 40,000 right now. Is that correct?
That is correct. And actually they'd be worth 37,000. That's down 63%. That's about 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Okay. So on the other hand, if they had invested $100,000 in the algorithm, January 1 through to today's date, they would be up to around 165,000. Is that what you found?
Correct, about 168,000. Again, this is based on back testing and it doesn't reflect real numbers, of course.
Sure.
But in theory, if you were to do it, yes.
But the difference would be, on one hand, $100,000 investment fell to $37,000, and on the other hand, $100,000 investment went up to $165,000 in this example. So,
correct, yeah, from January 1st till today.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We certainly appreciate your time and effort. I know it takes a lot of effort to go through that. So thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it. And again, just great to work with you. Before I bring Courtney back out here, I do want to address one additional point here that I think is really important, because when there are black swan events, and when the price of crypto didn't go up 10% in a day, it seems like there's always some other group of people somewhere on the planet who are promising impossible guaranteed returns. And I want to caution everyone that whenever you consider trading, whether it's Forex or the stock market or crypto, I want to caution you that your crypto should always remain in your exchange, and only you should have withdrawal ability of it. And any program where you're paying money into that company and expecting them to work magic with it, more often than not, it is not real, and it's certainly not legal, and you're not going to get those ridiculous promises that they give. If someone is interested in learning how to trade the markets from professionals, if someone is interested in algorithmic trading for Bitcoin, where the crypto stays in your exchange exclusively, if you want to do it right, BFX Standard is without a doubt the best in the business and the best you're going to find anywhere. And there's no one who succeeds with those programs promising the sun and the moon, and at the end of the day, they can't even show you a rock. So with that, I want to thank everyone for the time here this evening, and I'd like to invite Courtney to come back out. And again, it's very exciting to see what happens next with these markets, Courtney. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you for the incredible work you're doing with the algorithm. More importantly, the additional safeguards and protections that have been put in place in order to make sure our customers are safe.